Marcus Aurelius, a name that echoes through the annals of history, a figure whose legacy has transcended the ages, Roman emperor, philosopher, warrior. These titles only scratch the surface of who he truly was. He lived a life unlike any other, navigating the complexities of ruling an empire while delving deep into the realms of philosophy. He ruled Rome during a time of great turmoil, facing wars, plagues, and political strife. Yet, amidst the chaos, he sought wisdom and inner peace, yet he found peace within himself. How? Through philosophy. His thoughts and reflections became his sanctuary, a place where he could find solace and clarity. Marcus Aurelius was a Stoic. This ancient philosophy guided his actions and decisions, providing a framework for living a virtuous life. Stoicism is a philosophy that emphasizes virtue and reason. It teaches us to live in harmony with nature and to accept the world as it is. It teaches us to focus on what we can control. By understanding the limits of our power, we can find peace in the face of adversity. It helps us accept what we cannot. This acceptance is not about resignation, but about understanding and wisdom. So his personal writings, known as meditations, offer profound insights. These reflections were never meant for publication. They were his private thoughts, a dialogue with himself. They are just as relevant today as they were centuries ago. In these pages, we find timeless wisdom that speaks to the human condition. They provide a roadmap for navigating life's challenges. Whether we face personal struggles or global crises, his words offer guidance and comfort. Let's explore the life and legacy of this remarkable man. His journey from a young prince to a revered emperor is filled with lessons and insights. Let's uncover the timeless wisdom he left behind. His teachings on virtue, resilience, and inner peace continue to inspire and guide us. And let's see how his teachings can help us lead more fulfilling lives. By embracing his philosophy, we can find strength in adversity and clarity in confusion, just as he did. Marcus Aurelius faced countless challenges, both on the battlefield and within the halls of power. Yet he remained steadfast, guided by his Stoic principles. His reign was marked by a deep commitment to justice and the well-being of his people. He believed that a ruler should serve with humility and wisdom. In the Senate, he was a voice of reason and compassion, always striving to balance the needs of the empire with the principles of Stoicism. His spirituality was deeply personal, rooted in the belief that the divine is present in all things. This belief shaped his approach to leadership and life. Today we can draw inspiration from his example. By integrating Stoic principles into our own lives, we can cultivate resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. His meditations remain a testament to the power of self-reflection and philosophical inquiry. They remind us that true strength comes from within. As we delve into his writings, we discover a treasure trove of insights that can help us navigate the complexities of modern life. Marcus Aurelius's legacy is not just that of an emperor, but of a philosopher king whose wisdom continues to illuminate our path. Let us honor his memory by embracing the timeless wisdom he has shared with us. In doing so, we can lead lives of greater purpose and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius was not born into philosophy. He was born into a world of privilege and power, a world where the expectations were high and the responsibilities even higher. From a young age, he was surrounded by the grandeur and opulence of the Roman Empire, a place where the seeds of wisdom were often overshadowed by the allure of power and wealth. He was born into power. His family was well connected, and his future seemed destined for greatness. The young Marcus was groomed for leadership, and every step he took was a step towards the throne. As a young man, he was adopted by the Emperor Antoninus Pius. This adoption was not just a familial bond, it was a political move that set Marcus on a direct path to becoming the ruler of Rome. Antoninus Pius saw potential in Marcus, not just as a leader, but as a thinker, someone who could bring wisdom to the throne. This set him on the path to rule Rome, but ruling Rome was no easy task. The empire was vast, and the challenges were many. Marcus knew that to be a good ruler, he needed more than just power. He needed wisdom. He needed to understand the deeper truths of life, the principles that could guide him through the complexities of leadership. Despite the privileges of his position, Marcus was drawn to wisdom. He spent countless hours in study, poring over the works of great philosophers. He sought out teachers and mentors who could guide him on his quest for knowledge. He was not content with the superficial trappings of power. He wanted to understand the essence of what it meant to live a good life. He immersed himself in Stoic teachings. The Stoics believed in the power of reason, the importance of virtue, and the necessity of living in harmony with nature. These teachings resonated deeply with Marcus, and he made them the cornerstone of his philosophy. He studied the works of Epictetus and Seneca. These Stoic philosophers provided Marcus with a framework for understanding the world. They taught him that true happiness comes from within, that it is not dependent on external circumstances. They showed him that virtue is the highest good and that living in accordance with nature is the path to true fulfillment. He embraced the Stoic emphasis on virtue, reason, and living in accordance with nature. He practiced these principles daily, reflecting on his actions and striving to align them with his values. He understood that wisdom was not just an abstract concept, it was a way of life, a daily practice that required discipline and commitment. For Marcus, philosophy wasn't just an intellectual pursuit, it was a practical guide for living. He believed that the teachings of the Stoics could help him navigate the challenges of leadership, and he applied these principles in his daily life. It was a way of life. He engaged in regular discussions with scholars and philosophers, always seeking to deepen his understanding. He believed that wisdom was a lifelong journey, and he was committed to walking that path every day. He believed that true happiness came from within. He practiced meditation and reflection, taking time each day to connect with his inner self. He understood that external circumstances were beyond his control, but his inner state was something he could cultivate and nurture. It wasn't found in wealth, power, or external validation. Marcus knew that these things were fleeting and unreliable. He sought a deeper, more lasting form of happiness, one that was rooted in virtue and wisdom. His writings reflect this deep commitment to Stoicism. In his journal, which would later be known as the Meditations, Marcus recorded his thoughts, reflections, and insights. These writings were not intended for publication. They were a personal tool for self-improvement and reflection. They are filled with personal reflections, aphorisms, and reminders. Marcus used his journal to remind himself of the principles he held dear, to reflect on his actions, and to strive for continuous improvement. His writings are a testament to his dedication to the Stoic way of life. They are not abstract theories, they are practical advice for living a good life. Marcus believed that philosophy should be applied in everyday life, that it should guide our actions and decisions. His writings are filled with practical wisdom, advice that is as relevant today as it was in ancient Rome. They are practical guidance for living a good life. Marcus Aurelius' legacy is not just that of a great ruler, but of a wise philosopher. His teachings continue to inspire and guide those who seek wisdom and virtue in their own lives. His life is a testament to the power of philosophy and the pursuit of wisdom. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Imagine for a moment that every action you take, every word you speak, and every thought you entertain could be your last. This isn't a call to live in fear, but rather an invitation to live with intention and purpose. This quote from Meditations encapsulates a fundamental Stoic principle, the awareness of our own mortality. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote these words as a reminder to himself and to others that life is transient. The Stoics believed that by keeping our mortality in mind, we can better appreciate the present moment and make more meaningful choices. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself of life's brevity. He understood that our time on this earth is finite and that realization drove him to live a life of virtue and purpose. He wasn't alone in this belief. Many ancient philosophers and thinkers shared this perspective, seeing it as a way to cultivate a deeper sense of gratitude and urgency. He knew that our time on this earth is limited. The sundial, the hourglass, and the calendar were all symbols of the passage of time, constantly reminding the Romans of the fleeting nature of life. These tools were not just for keeping track of days and hours, but also for instilling a sense of urgency and purpose in their daily lives. This wasn't meant to be morbid or depressing. Instead, it was a call to action, a reminder to cherish each moment and to live fully. The Romans believed that by acknowledging the impermanence of life, they could find greater joy and fulfillment in their everyday experiences. It was a call to action. Whether preparing for battle, working diligently, or engaging in the hustle and bustle of the marketplace, the awareness of mortality inspired the Romans to give their best in all endeavors. They understood that each moment was an opportunity to make a difference, to contribute to their community, and to leave a lasting legacy. By acknowledging our mortality, we gain a sense of urgency. This urgency isn't about rushing through life, but about making the most of the time we have. It's about prioritizing our goals, focusing on what truly matters, and not getting bogged down by trivial concerns. We are less likely to waste time on trivial matters. When we understand that our time is limited, we become more discerning about how we spend it. We avoid activities that don't add value to our lives, and instead focus on those that bring us joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose. We are more likely to focus on what truly matters. Family, friendships, meaningful work, and personal growth become our priorities. The Romans valued these aspects of life, understanding that they were the foundation of a fulfilling existence. By keeping our mortality in mind, we can better appreciate and nurture these important relationships and pursuits. This awareness helps us prioritize our values. It encourages us to reflect on what is truly important to us and to align our actions with our core beliefs. The Romans often engaged in philosophical discussions and debates, seeking to understand the deeper meaning of life and to live in accordance with their values. It encourages us to live each day to the fullest. Festivals, feasts, and gatherings were an integral part of Roman life, celebrating the joys of existence and the bonds of community. By embracing the present moment and making the most of each day, the Romans found a sense of fulfillment and happiness. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, we must make the most of the time we have. His teachings continue to resonate today, urging us to live with intention, to cherish our relationships, and to pursue our passions. By keeping the fleeting nature of life in mind, we can find greater meaning and purpose in our everyday actions, just as the Romans did centuries ago.